We have had a year of lockdowns and I am not the same person as I was this time last year. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Radhika. I'm a junior doctor working in London as a paediatric trainee, and I make videos about life as a doctor, what I get up to in my spare time, and everything else in between. This time last year, lockdown was announced and most of us thought it would only be for a couple of weeks, but we were so wrong. None of us expected the year that ended up happening and even how things are now. I have changed so much in this last year and I'm a different person in so many ways. I want to spend this video just reflecting on how I've changed this year, so I've got 5 things that I want to talk about. Let's get into the video. The first thing is that I am way more grateful for my family. I really miss spending time with my family. Just being able to pop home and watch TV with my parents or annoy my brothers or hang out with my sister. I just really miss that feeling of home. That time is so precious and something I really miss. This last year has made me appreciate and value my family so much more, and it's definitely something I'll be taking forward even when lockdown ends. I just can't wait for things to be back to normal and for me to be able to see them whenever I want to and hang out with them and just enjoy that time with them really properly. The second thing is that I'm learning to lead a slower life. This is something that I actually realised was a problem a few weeks before lockdown. I bought a book called Seeking Slow, and it was basically about how to lead a slower life and to kind of stop saying yes to everything and focus on yourself and just slow down. I was living life way too fast. I was going straight from shifts that finished at 10 p.m. to someone's birthday party. I was going out for dinner with my friends before starting a night shift. There were so many examples of things that I was trying to do to squeeze in as much as I could into my life and say yes to everything and be present at everything and do loads of different things at once. And lockdown just really helped give that time for me to slow down, focus on myself and enjoy living a slower life. The slow life has been enforced upon us because there's nothing to do and we're not allowed to do anything, but I've been really grateful for that. I just needed this time to stop and to really assess how I was living and work out how I want to live in the future. And a slow life, or definitely a slower life, is definitely something that I want, and it's something that makes me flourish more and is more nurturing to the kind of life that I want to lead. I also feel like now I understand when people say that they don't feel like going out or they're too tired, whereas before I kind of thought, oh, if you're free, you should want to be able to do something. But I completely get it now, and I'm also going to be that person that sometimes says, no, actually I don't feel like doing something, I just want to have some me time and have a chilled evening. And I think that's been a really nice shift in how my thinking has changed from always wanting to be doing stuff and thinking that you weren't living life unless you were constantly doing something, to now realising that actually life can be really nice and is really nice looking after yourself and doing things at a much slower pace. The third thing is that I lived on my own for 4 months. So this time last year, when concerns were rising about coronavirus and people were talking about a lockdown, the 3 people I lived with decided that they would move back home just in case a lockdown happened, which obviously ended up happening. I obviously couldn't move home to live with my parents, one, because obviously as a doctor I can't work from home, but also because even though I probably could have commuted from my parents' house to my work, I didn't want to risk catching coronavirus at work and bringing it home. And I'm really glad I made that decision because I did end up catching coronavirus at work, but I was living on my own, so it was a lot safer than if I'd been living with friends or family. Before lockdown, I'd never lived on my own, and it was actually something I was kind of scared of. I think I was scared of not having people to talk to or being bored or not having other people in the house. So it was such an achievement for me that I got through lockdown and 4 months living completely on my own. I know it might not sound like a huge deal, but living on my own for 4 months, especially during a global pandemic, really was an achievement for me, and it's changed me so much and made me so much more independent than I ever was before. The fourth thing is learning to enjoy me time and time for myself, which kind of goes on from the last point of the achievement of living on my own. Before lockdown, I hated having time to myself. I would stare at my Google Calendar and literally get anxious at the fact of having a free weekend or an evening free and not having any plans to do. And then I'd frantically message people asking if they wanted to meet up or hang out. Whereas now I get excited when I see free time in my week. My old housemate actually told me that last January I went up into her room one weekend and cried because I had nothing to do. I don't remember this, but basically I cried because I was bored, and that just highlights how bad I was at spending time with myself, enjoying just not having anything to do. I can't imagine doing that now. Now I absolutely love free time. I do things like making YouTube videos, reading, doing jigsaw puzzles, cooking. There's so many nice things that I can do in my free time, and I'm so grateful for it compared to before where I constantly felt like I needed stuff to do. The fifth thing, which I know lots of you will relate to, is my new love for going on long walks. I definitely enjoyed going for walks before lockdown, but I never appreciated them in the way that I do now. There's so many nice things about going for walks. I absolutely love wandering through London and seeing lots of different things. I love building up my step count and seeing how many steps I've done. I love taking new routes and seeing new things and appreciating things like the River Thames or different flowers or different birds or different views. It's so nice and I really, really enjoy it. And I also love that we now use walks as a way of socialising. It's not like, oh, let's go for dinner or let's go for lunch. It's let's go for a walk, let's get a coffee and go for a walk, which is a really nice thing for me. And it means that I spend more time outdoors, getting my fresh air, hopefully getting some vitamin D as well if the weather's not really muggy like it always is in London. And I'm just really grateful for the new appreciation I have for the walks. And it's definitely something I'm going to be doing lots of in the coming years, even when lockdown has ended. So those are my 5 things of how lockdown has changed my life. I'd love to hear from you guys as well. How has lockdown changed your life? What did you learn? What did you find difficult? And how do you think you've grown from the last year? Because it has been a really hard year and I know we've all changed and grown in different ways. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, you might enjoy my video of ways to love yourself and life more, or you might enjoy some of my other doctor content where I've got lots of different vlogs about my life as a doctor. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and you can follow me over on Instagram as well. I will see you in my next video. Bye!